Imagine a realm that spanned across 3 continents, ruled by sultans and shaped by a rich tapestry of cultures. Welcome to the Ottoman Empire. This colossal empire's story begins in the 13th century, in a small Anatolian state, under the leadership of a man named Osman I. Osman I, the empire's namesake, was a visionary. He dreamt of a powerful realm, united under the banner of Islam. His dream went beyond the borders of his small state, and under his rule, the seeds of the Ottoman Empire took root. As we journey into the 14th century, the realm expands under Osman's successors. Orhan, the second sultan, was a man of action. He seized Bursa, making it the new Ottoman capital and a springboard for further expansion. The capture of Bursa marked the Ottomans' transition from a small principality to a formidable sultanate, and it was just the beginning. The 15th century brought a wave of conquests. The Ottomans, now a force to be reckoned with, set their sights on the jewel of the Eastern Roman Empire, Constantinople. Under the leadership of Mehmet II, they launched a successful siege and claimed the city in 1453. This victory was more than territorial, it was symbolic. The Ottomans had claimed the seat of the Roman Empire, ushering in a new era of dominance. The empire's early growth was marked by strategic expansion, military might, and diplomatic finesse. The sultans and their armies pushed boundaries, literally and figuratively, building an empire that was diverse, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious. They incorporated the cultures and traditions of the lands they conquered, creating a rich and complex tapestry that was the Ottoman Empire. From these humble beginnings, the Ottomans set the stage for an empire that would dominate for centuries. The 16th century marked the golden age of the Ottoman Empire, where it reached the peak of its power and influence. 2 pivotal figures guided the empire during this period: Selim I and his son, Suleiman the Magnificent. Selim I, also known as Selim the Grim, ascended to the throne in 1512. His reign, although short, was marked by significant military conquests. He expanded the empire's boundaries dramatically, reaching as far as Egypt, Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem. These territories not only increased the empire's geographical expanse, but also its religious significance, as it now controlled Islam's holiest cities. However, the Golden Age truly began with Selim's son, Suleiman the Magnificent. His reign from 1520 to 1566 was a time of exceptional growth and prosperity. Suleiman was not only a formidable military leader, conquering parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa, but also a great statesman and a patron of arts and culture. Under Suleiman's rule, the Ottoman architecture flourished. The skyline of Istanbul was transformed with the construction of grand mosques, bridges, and public baths. The most notable among these was the Süleymaniye Mosque, a stunning architectural masterpiece that still stands today, a testament to the empire's grandeur during its peak. Suleiman's influence extended beyond military and architectural feats. He was a great reformer, known for his comprehensive overhaul of the Ottoman legal system. His legal code, Kanun, sought to ensure justice and order within the empire, earning him the epithet the lawgiver. This legal reform solidified the central authority of the empire, contributing significantly to its stability and prosperity. But Suleiman's reign wasn't just about power and conquest. He was a patron of culture and arts, fostering the growth of literature, music, and fine arts. His court was filled with poets, artists, and scholars, making the Ottoman Empire a hub of cultural and intellectual activity. Under Suleiman's rule, the Ottoman Empire became a world power, a beacon of art, culture, and law. It was an era marked by great achievements and expansion, the peak of an empire whose influence still echoes in the annals of history. Despite its might, the empire also faced significant challenges and defeats. One such challenge was the Battle of Lepanto, a monumental naval confrontation that took place on October 7, 1571. The Ottoman fleet, under the command of Muezzinzade Ali Pasha, clashed with the Holy League, a coalition of European Catholic maritime states led by the Venetian Republic. In one of the largest naval battles in Western history, the Holy League's victory at Lepanto marked a halt to the Ottoman Empire's expansion across the Mediterranean. The battle was a devastating blow to the empire's reputation as an unstoppable force, as they lost around 200 ships and tens of thousands of men. It also marked the end of the empire's naval dominance in the Mediterranean. However, the Battle of Lepanto wasn't the only hurdle the empire faced in its quest for expansion. The Siege of Vienna in 1683 was another significant event that tested the empire's military prowess. The Ottomans, under the leadership of Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa Pasha, aimed to seize Vienna, the capital of the Habsburg Austria, but the city's stout defense, led by the King of Poland, John III Sobieski, resulted in a decisive defeat for the Ottomans. While the empire had previously been successful in many sieges and battles, the Siege of Vienna was a turning point. It was not only a military defeat, but a blow to the empire's hitherto unchallenged reputation for invincibility. The failure to capture Vienna marked the end of the Ottoman Empire's expansion into Europe. It also led to the empire losing significant territories in the Treaty of Karlowitz in 1699. The Battle of Lepanto and the Siege of Vienna were more than just military defeats. They were symbolic events that signaled a change in the tide of history. The empire, once feared and respected, started to lose its grip on territories and its aura of invincibility. These battles marked a turning point, signaling the beginning of the empire's slow decline. The 17th and 18th centuries saw the Ottoman Empire grappling with internal strife and external threats. As we delve into this era of the empire's history, we find a myriad of issues plaguing the once invincible Ottoman Empire. Administrative corruption seeped into the very structure of the empire, casting a long shadow over its operations. From the Sultan's palace to the lowest echelons of society, no corner of the empire was spared. Bribes became common currency, loyalty was bought, and meritocracy was replaced with nepotism. The corruption was so rampant that it gnawed away at the efficiency of the empire, and its effects were felt far and wide. Parallel to this, the empire was also buffeted by military defeats. The once formidable Ottoman military might was losing its edge. They suffered significant losses, not least of which were the failed Siege of Vienna and the catastrophic Battle of Lepanto. These defeats were not just physical but also psychological, as they shattered the illusion of Ottoman invincibility, further weakening the empire's grip on its territories. Meanwhile, on the international stage, the rise of European powers began to pose an imminent threat. Europe was experiencing a surge in scientific, political, and economic advancements during the Enlightenment. This led to the rise of formidable nations such as England, France, and Russia, who began to challenge the Ottoman Empire's dominance. The empire, which had always been a force to reckon with, now found itself outpaced and outclassed by these emerging powers. The Ottoman Empire, in its struggle to stay relevant and powerful, failed to adapt to the changing times. Its inability to innovate, reform, and modernize, coupled with the internal and external issues it faced, led to a gradual but undeniable decline. This period, marked by military defeats, corruption, and the rise of European powers, is often referred to as the era of decline. As the empire struggled to adapt, it entered a period known as the era of decline. In the face of decline, the empire sought to reinvent itself through a series of reforms. The Ottoman Empire, in its waning years, embarked on a journey of transformation in a bid to restore its former glory. Two particularly notable periods of this endeavor were the Tanzimat and Hamidian eras. The Tanzimat era, which translates to reorganization, spanned from the mid-19th century to the mid-20th century. This period was characterized by comprehensive attempts to modernize the empire. The architects of Tanzimat sought to overhaul the political, social, and economic systems, aiming to integrate the empire with the rapidly evolving world. The most significant reforms were in the areas of education, administration, and law. The empire established new schools and universities, adopting a more Western-style education system. It attempted to decentralize administration, hoping to make governance more efficient. Also, it introduced a new legal code inspired by European law, seeking to replace the traditional Islamic legal system. The Hamidian era, named after Sultan Abdul Hamid II, followed the Tanzimat. While the Tanzimat focused on structural changes, the Hamidian era emphasized cultural and ideological reforms. Abdul Hamid II sought to rekindle the spirit of pan-Islamism, hoping to unite the diverse ethnic and religious groups under the banner of Islam. He also promoted modern technology, particularly the telegraph and the railroads, to enhance communication and transportation across the empire. However, the impact of these reforms was a mixed bag. While they did bring about some positive changes, they also caused internal tensions. The shift towards a more secular legal system, for instance, was met with resistance from conservative elements within the empire. The push for pan-Islamism, on the other hand, alienated non-Muslim subjects. Despite these attempts at modernization, the empire's decline was irreversible. The reforms were too little, too late. The empire was unable to keep pace with the rapid changes unfolding in the world. And so, the once mighty Ottoman Empire continued its slow march towards its eventual dissolution. The 20th century brought the final blows to the ailing Ottoman Empire. As the dawn of this new era unfolded, the empire found itself drawn into the tumultuous events of World War I. The Ottomans, aligning with the Central Powers, hoped to regain lost territories. However, their involvement in the war resulted in further loss and devastation. The empire, already weakened by years of decline, was unable to sustain the pressures of this global conflict. Following the war, Ottoman lands were carved up by the victorious Allied forces. The Treaty of Sèvres, signed in 1920, aimed to partition the empire into several nations. This agreement was met with staunch resistance within the empire, leading to a surge of nationalistic fervor. The Turkish War of Independence, led by the charismatic Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, emerged from this wave of nationalism. This war, fought from 1919 to 1922, was a fierce struggle against both the Allied-imposed partition and the Sultanate. Ataturk and his forces managed to repel foreign armies and dissolve the Sultanate. The Treaty of Lausanne, signed in 1923, replaced the Treaty of Sèvres. It recognized the sovereignty of the new Turkish Republic over the core parts of the former Ottoman Empire. This transformation from an empire to a republic was a profound shift. It marked the end of a political entity that had been a significant player on the world stage for over 6 centuries. The Ottoman Empire, once a formidable power, had fallen. This fall, however, wasn't just the end. It was also a beginning, the birth of the Turkish Republic, a nation that rose, phoenix-like, from the ashes of the Ottoman Empire. Under Ataturk's leadership, Turkey embarked on a journey of modernization and reform, continuing to play a vital role in world affairs. In 1922, the Ottoman Empire officially ended, marking the close of a significant chapter in world history. And yet, its legacy continues to echo in the annals of time, leaving an indelible mark on the tapestry of civilization. The fall of the Ottoman Empire was not the end of its influence. It's a common misconception that the legacy of an empire dies with its fall. However, the reality couldn't be further from the truth, especially in the case of the Ottoman Empire. Let's first look at the cultural legacy. The empire was a melting pot of different cultures, languages, and religions. It was home to Turks, Arabs, Greeks, Armenians, Jews, and many others. This diversity was reflected in its art, music, literature, and cuisine, which continue to thrive in the present-day countries that were once part of the empire. Ottoman-style calligraphy, for instance, is still widely practiced and admired for its elegance and complexity. In terms of architecture, the Ottomans left behind a wealth of architectural marvels. From the grandiose Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, which was transformed into a mosque after Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, to the numerous mosques, palaces, and bridges scattered across the empire. Ottoman architecture combined elements of Byzantine, Persian, and Islamic styles, creating a unique aesthetic that continues to inspire architects today. The legal legacy of the Ottomans is also noteworthy. The empire was known for its sophisticated legal system, which served as a model for many modern legal systems in the Middle East. The millet system, which granted religious and ethnic communities a degree of self-governance, is still influential in countries like Lebanon, where different religious groups have their own courts for personal status matters. Furthermore, the empire's influence on the shaping of the modern Middle East is undeniable. The borders of many countries in the region were drawn during the dissolution of the empire after World War I. These borders, however arbitrary they may seem, continue to define the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. From its rise to its fall, the Ottoman Empire left an indelible mark on the annals of history. This mark is not just confined to the history books, but is alive and well in the myriad ways the empire's legacy continues to shape our world today. The Ottoman Empire's journey was one of rise, dominance, decline, and fall. This journey began with a small Anatolian state, which burgeoned into a formidable empire, reaching its zenith of power under Suleiman the Magnificent. This was an era marked by unprecedented territorial expansion and cultural flourishing. However, even the mightiest fall. The Battle of Lepanto and the Siege of Vienna signaled the beginning of a slow decline, exacerbated by internal strife and external pressures. Attempts at reform were made, but they could not halt the inevitable fall of the empire. Yet the empire's legacy endures. It has left indelible imprints on the regions it once ruled, influencing their languages, architecture, and cultures. It was a melting pot of cultures and a bridge between the East and West. In understanding the Ottoman Empire, we gain a richer understanding of our shared global heritage.